Dyker Heights, Brooklyn is a residential neighborhood in the southern section of the borough of Brooklyn. It is about 12 miles from Manhattan and about 2 miles from Staten Island. Dyker Heights can be reached by car, and it is also accessible by the R train that lets you out in Bay Ridge and the N and D train that lets you off in Bensonhurst.
Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas. So where we are today is Dyker Heights, Brooklyn. So Dyker Heights, Brooklyn is in the south section of Brooklyn, and it is famous for having one of the most beautiful Christmas displays in America, right? So this is referred to as the Dyker Heights Christmas Lights. So it's a large area. It's actually pretty interesting because Dyker Heights is one of the most wealthy neighborhoods in Brooklyn. It's not the traditional Brooklyn look with the old apartment buildings and, you know, fire escapes and that gritty feel. It's mostly single family homes. They're pretty much mansions. And, you know, there's more parking. There's not a lot of public transportation. So that's one thing. When you come to visit here, it's not very close to a subway line. So if you can drive, I would recommend doing so, because you can park on the streets here because most people around here have a parking spot, right? So parking on the street actually is available. Now, I would highly recommend coming in the evening. You know, the sun goes down early in December, so you can come as early as 5 o'clock. So I would come as early as possible, between 5 and 7 during the week. If you come on the weekend, Friday or Saturday, it gets very, very busy. People come from all over. People come from Manhattan, and people come from the suburbs, Long Island, New Jersey, Staten Island. So it is something to see. So when you come here, drive if you can. If you can't, you can get off at the R train in Bay Ridge, and you can take like an Uber over here. You could walk. It's a far walk though. You could also take the N train from Manhattan. So that works too, but like I said, it gets very busy, as you can see here. So as you can see, there's tours. So you can take a tour if you go on like TripAdvisor or one of those, Viator. You can get a tour here. I don't really think you need one. There's nothing, I mean, you can use this for information. There's not a lot of information necessary. It's more just something to see. It's great for kids. It's a great little night out. So I definitely would recommend coming here. Do it on the week so there's less crowds, because like I said, I'm here on a Thursday night and there already are crowds. So take a look at some of these here, guys.
Okay, we got separated.
I mean, it really is one of the most beautiful Christmas displays in the United States. One interesting thing to note is that some of the houses, they actually give you like coffee and hot cocoa, and they kind of sell Christmas related things. So it's kind of a whole kind of experience, right? So you can buy things. It's pretty cool. Like here. So you can see here, these people actually open their house. They got music going. They're selling hot cocoa. They're selling drinks, I think. There's a line to go into this one. So it's really a whole experience for you and your family. like I mentioned before, it could get quite busy. So we're walking just on a regular sidewalk, and there's people all the way down there and all the way up here. And the bad thing is, these are just normal sidewalks. So this isn't like a Manhattan street where it has really wide sidewalks. So it could get a little busy, but I guess that's part of it, right? History of the neighborhood. We're actually going to do a Dyker Heights neighborhood not in Christmas time, but just to get your bearings, this is actually the most Italian American neighborhood in Brooklyn. So it used to be Bensonhurst, which is the adjacent neighborhood, but this is by far now the most Italian American neighborhood in Brooklyn. So most of the people living here are first, second, third generation Italians, right? So you're gonna see that a lot. You have kind of palatial mansions over here, right? So some are modern, like look at this one here. This one's very modern. Not decorated too much, but it's very modern. And then you have old ones. So, you know, it has a really neighborhood vibe, you know, very residential, mostly single family houses, not a lot of apartment buildings, which is very rare for Brooklyn, right? So it's a very residential family vibe. So you really feel that when you're here. Also, one thing to note is this is the home of a lot of, you know, mobsters from the 70s and 80s. So you're gonna see some of these, you know, kind of Don Corleone kind of houses here. But it is one of the safest neighborhoods in Brooklyn. And it remains pretty isolated, like I mentioned before, because there really isn't a very easy subway network that goes into here. You have to travel either to Bay Ridge or further north, right? So there really is not a direct subway that comes here, which makes it maintain its lower density population as opposed to most of Brooklyn, right? That's why you're seeing more houses, and you're gonna see a lot more parking spots around here than you would in any neighborhood in Brooklyn. Now, the Dyker Heights Christmas Lights extravaganza has been going on for many decades. It's kind of become a big thing to do in the New York area around Christmas time. Now, when to come? Don't come before Thanksgiving, because, believe it or not, a lot of these are done by companies, so, you know, very expensive. So people kind of limit the time that they do it. So I would strongly recommend coming after Thanksgiving, because if you come before, there might be very little houses decorated. So I'm here in about mid-December. That's a good time to come, all the way up till Christmas. Guys, if you like like this kind of content, make sure you like, share, subscribe to this channel. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the Dyker Heights Christmas lights, and let me know if there's any other ones in New York or anywhere else. Everyone, well, this sums up the tour of the Dyker Heights Christmas lights. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I enjoyed showing it. It's a wonderful place to take your family. It's a good place to take a date. Like I said, it's good to come mid-December. During the week is probably the best. As far as the subway goes, make sure you have a ride from the subway because it's not that close, or just drive. And if you come during the week, if you come early enough, there's spots on the streets. So I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas and a happy New Year. Until next time, guys, take care.